What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Fantasy Scholars, and today I want to go over 5 buy now trade targets for right now. For right now, in this point of the season, here are 5 guys that you guys should target. Now, first on the list, we have Christian Yelich. Yelich has been injured with a back injury, and he's been out since like April 11th, I believe, kind of the beginning of April. But he's looking pretty good in rehab and starting to do some more baseball activities. He's taking some swings and feeling some more. And according to Greg Counsell, the manager for the Brewers, he should be back within a couple weeks. This is a player that can make a massive, massive difference for your team. If you're able to get him as he's kind of banged up right now and he gets healthy in a couple weeks, he will be a huge boost to your team. I mean, if you could start him in June and he'll be, healthy for the majority of the rest of the season, you're talking about a top player, one of the best players in all of baseball on your team. It'll be a huge boost to your team if you can get Yelich now. This will be the cheapest he will be all season. Definitely go for Christian Yelich. Up next, we have a top 5 player, according to the offseason rankings, in Juan Soto. Now, Juan Soto has not been that great this year. He was on the COVID list, and then he was also on the IL. He's back, and he's just not been fantastic, but he's still a phenomenal player, and do not give up on him. And we're only in May. Like, come on, think about it. We're in May, you guys. He still has an on base of 398. He's hitting 269, which is really uncharacteristic of him. He's got great pop. As long as he's getting on base and making contact, he is going to be an absolute stud. He's a top 5 player, and you should definitely target him right now. This will, again, be the cheapest you can get him, and if you can pry him away from someone, that would be absolutely massive. You're going to get a stud player for a reasonable value. Up next, we have Alec Baum. Now, Alec Baum has been really, really bad this season, and people may be freaking out. He's only hit like 217. He does have like 4 home runs, and I think he's going to be actually fine this season. Last year, he hit 338. He was a really promising young player for the Phillies. He's definitely a guy you should look at. He's still hitting the ball very hard, so that's really good to see. He's making great contact in terms of his exit velocity. So I would definitely look at Alec Baum if you need a third baseman. Up next is a player that you should kind of look at and monitor because he may be dropped in several leagues because people are just absolutely running away from him, is Kyle Hendricks. He's been so bad this season, but he's historically been very, very solid. Now, this is a player that does not get a lot of strikeouts, so people are freaking out, but I'm saying you should target him for a very, very low, trade that you're just kind of like, I don't really need this player, but he's doing all right now. Let me go get Kyle Hendricks and hope that he kind of turns that ship, and he's looking pretty good. Now, the good thing about Kyle Hendricks is he got lit up by the Pirates, which is not great, but he gave up a lot of soft contact, and that's something he's done throughout his career is just soft contact. And he kind of relies on it because he doesn't get a lot of strikeouts. But if you can keep that soft contact going and, rely on the defense to make those plays, he will be fine. And the Cubs will still win games where he should get some wins. But this is a player that may get dropped soon. So just keep in mind that you may get him for free, and he could be actually a very, very solid pitcher because he's been a great pitcher throughout his career. We're talking about a guy that, gets 3 in the area of like 3 and close to 10 wins. And he's just a solid pitcher, but right now he's been getting lit up. But that soft contact is key. He's still limiting the soft contact. And lastly, we have Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Now, Gurriel Jr. is only 27 years old. Okay, he's only 27 years old and is looking very promising. He has not been great this season, but last season was kind of the beginning of his breakout year and stuff. He hit 308, hit like 11 home runs. He can run a little bit, and he's just a really good hitter, and it's just very uncharacteristic of him to be, this poor early on in the season. So I think you should definitely go after Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He's a promising player, and yeah, you could get him again. This is a guy that people may be like freaking out about, but he's still a good hitter. You can get him at a low, low value right here, and try to trade someone that may not be consistently good the rest of the season. Thank you all for watching. More videos on the way.